Is Jewel Dorene Koval Ellenstein. This picture was taken in the summer of 1993. I am swinging my grandson Mark Edward Solon, who at the time was 16 months old. I am the daughter of Violet Lewis Koval and Merle Orrin Koval, pictured here in 1944 in Amarillo, Texas. Violet Lewis Koval was born October 15, 1905. Merle Orrin Koval was born April 28, 1904. They married on June 2, 1932. Merle and Violet Koval had 3 children: Billy Louise, born April 7, 1935, Jewel Dorene, born December 18, 1937, and Louis Leroy, born August 23, 1944. I am Jewel Dorene, and I am recording this in hopes that it will be of interest to some of our relatives. My mother, Violet Lewis, was the 4th child born to Lucy Ellen Mayfield Lewis and Andrew Thomas Lewis. The 3rd child of this family was Pansy Lewis, born 15 minutes before Violet. Pansy weighed 8 pounds, Violet weighed 8 pounds 4 ounces. Lucy Ellen Mayfield Lewis and Andrew Thomas Lewis, known as A.T., were the parents of 7 children. Lucy Ellen Mayfield was born November 15, 1876, in Stoutland, Missouri. Andrew, A.T., was born on February 1, 1875, in Callaway County, Kentucky. They married January 29, 1899, in Stoutland, Missouri. Lucy Ellen Mayfield died on March 18, 1965. Andrew Thomas had died on March 20th, 1951. They are both buried in Parsons, Kansas. This faded photo of A.T. and Lucy was taken about the time of their marriage. This photo of Lucy Mayfield was taken when she was 21 years old, approximately 2 years before she was married. Tintype shows Martha Eleanor Percy Mayfield, mother of my grandmother, Lucy Ellen Mayfield Lewis. Eleanor Percy Mayfield was born July 14, 1840, and died Martha Eleanor Percy, mother of Lucy Lewis, was born in July on the 14th, 1840. She died December 1st, 1907. Bailey Mayfield was the father of Lucy Mayfield Lewis. He had 5 children from a previous marriage when he married Martha Eleanor Piercy. They were married on January 26, 1876 in Laclede County, Missouri. This is a much later photograph taken of my great-grandmother Mayfield. James Bailey Mayfield moved with his parents from Casey County, Kentucky in 1829 to Laclede County, Missouri, 2 miles northwest of Hazel Green. This is my great-grandfather, Joseph Skates Lewis. In Stewart County, Tennessee, on December 4, 1833, and died on October 5, 1904, in Laclede County, Missouri. Joseph Skates Lewis's first wife, Mary Jane Ware, bore him 12 children and died in 1870. 14 months after the death of Joseph Skates Lewis' first wife, Martha Susan Brandon married him. They had 6 children. The 12 children by his previous marriage ranged from age 3 to 19 years. Susan Brandon Lewis was born on January 19, 1847 in Callaway County, Kentucky. She died on February 9, 1919. They were married on September 24, 1871. She is the only grandparent that my mother had memories of because the others died either before she was born or very soon thereafter. This photograph, taken on April 30, 1893, shows the 4 sons of Martha Susan Brandon and Joseph Skates Lewis. They had had 1 daughter who died in infancy. This is Andrew Thomas Lewis, my grandfather. This is his brother John. Between his parents stands the youngest brother, Pete. This is Major, later known as Uncle Mage. And this is Susan Josephine, Grandpa's half-sister from the first marriage of Joseph Skates Lewis. Joseph Skates Lewis, Martha Brandon Lewis. "13 years prior to this marriage, Martha Susan's sister, Mary Elizabeth Brandon, had married the brother of Joseph Skates Lewis, William Henry. In 1950, Martha Susan Brandon and the rest of the Brandon family were pictured in Lebanon, Missouri. This is Martha Susan Brandon Lewis. Mary Elizabeth Brandon Lewis, who married William Henry, the brother of Joseph Skates Lewis. As the story was told to me by Aunt Ruth, Andrew Thomas Lewis, as a young man, had loved to travel and had done some of that before he came back to Lebanon, Missouri, where Lucy Ellen Mayfield told him that if he wanted to travel some more, that was all right, but not to expect her to wait for him. The results of that ultimatum were their marriage in 1899 in Stoutland, Missouri. After their marriage, A.T. taught at the Old Rippey School in Laclede County, Missouri. While they lived there, 2 children were born. Liza Ruth, known to all of us as Ruth, was born on December 24, 1899, in a log cabin in Laclede County, Missouri. Grace Blanche, known to all of us as Blanche, was born on January 29, 1902, in Mill Creek, Missouri. When my mother, Violet, on the right, and Aunt Pansy were born on October the 15th, 1905. A.T. and Lucy decided that it was no longer possible to support the family on what he was earning as a teacher. Ruth, Blanche, Pansy, Violet. This picture, obviously taken a few years later, shows the 4 girls still arranged in the same order, but obviously in not so formal a pose. This photo, taken a few years later, shows the same 4 girls, but in obviously a more informal pose. Ruth, Blanche, I'm not totally sure, but I think Violet, and Pansy. Notice the tongue sticking out. Also notice the fur coats and the dolls. First son in the family, Thomas Ray Lewis, was born on September 29, 1908, in Stoutland, Missouri. The second son, Mayfield, was the 6th child in the family and born on September 26, 1912, in Pomona, Missouri. The 6 children, with Mayfield as the baby. On the left, notice the walker, Ray, Violet and Pansy, Blanche, and Ruth. Mayfield, Ray, Pansy and Violet, Blanche, and Ruth.